Every now and again, a show will come along that flips the tables of media. One that is not only a true work of art, but touches the lives of those who watch it. What some would call the gates of anime. Shows like Cowboy Bebop, Evangelion, Haruhi Suzumiya, Clannad, and Attack on Titan, just to name a few. These particular shows have such a massive impact on pop culture that the waves they produced can still be felt even today, over 2 decades later. I truly feel that what we are witnessing today is yet another show that will be added to the Mount Rushmore of anime, and that show is Frieren Beyond Journey's End. Hello everyone and welcome to Skish, and today we are diving into the mesmerizing world of Frieren Beyond Journey's End. An anime that's captured the hearts of many with its unique storytelling, breathtaking animation, and profound themes. This show, based on the manga series by Kanehito Yamada and Tsukasa Abe, follows the journey of Frieren, an elf mage, as she traverses a world of magic, decades after defeating the Demon King, along her new party members Fern and Stark. What makes it stand out is not only the battles or the glory of adventure, but the poignant exploration of time, loss, and what it truly means to live. Spoiler alert! There's going to be a massive ton of spoilers in this video, so if you have not watched Frieren or you plan to, I would not recommend watching this video. I'm going to go over a lot of multiple things in episodes that happen way down the line, so if you don't want the show spoiled, and I recommend that you do not want it spoiled, just pass over this video or put it in your watch later list on YouTube and come back to it. So today I'd like to look at a couple points on why Frieren resonated so much with its audience and why it became this monumental anime that we are seeing today. What exactly is it that puts this show in a league of its own? I want to dive into a couple things, a couple different episodes and stuff, and talk about how it resonates with its audience so well. To put it simply, the animation quality is nothing short of spectacular, each frame being a testament to the love and care poured into the series. From some of the most beautifully crafted battle scenes to the mundane events of daily life, every single portion of this show is crafted with the utmost care. The landscapes are breathtaking, creating an immersive world that I constantly found myself daydreaming about. The attention to detail in this animation not only enhances the storytelling, but also enriches the emotional weight of each scene. I'd like to point out 3 specific episodes that caught my attention. Not only the animation, but the sheer amount of weight and importance that they carried in the show. Episode 15, Smells Like Trouble. In this episode, the party stumbles into a town only to find that all the residents have mysteriously fallen asleep. They venture into the woods, and one by one, each member also falls asleep, until Frieren and Sign are the only 2 left in the party. After running into a giant plant-like creature, we come to find that Frieren has also succumbed to the Big EP. With the party gone, Sign is left to fend for himself against his powerful new enemy. After struggling, Frieren is awoken and within mere seconds, destroys the plant. This scene for me was equivalent to a basketball buzzer beater in the championship of the league. I found myself in complete awe of not only her ability to instantaneously assess the situation, but also the beauty and astonishing animation that went into her attack. It was just one of those anime moments that left me feeling so starstruck. I had to constantly go back and watch it again, and I just felt this feeling inside of me of just jaw-dropping amazingness. The second episode is episode 26, The Height of Magic. I feel that this is not only one of the greatest episodes of the series, but I'm probably going to get crucified for saying this, so hold your pitchforks and torches, but in nearly all of anime. I remember seeing just how much this episode blew up on Twitter. It was literally the only thing people were talking about for at least 3 straight days. And for good reason. It encapsulates the peak of animation. With the help of some of the most acclaimed animators in the industry, the episode reached what some would consider to be the magnum opus of Studio Madhouse. The fluidity of hair movement, the details to lighting, and the downright diabolical expression on the faces of the characters, it's simply impossible to ignore just how stunning this sequence of events was. It showed a side of Frieren that we had yet to see, and it helps us understand just how powerful she actually is as a mage. The final episode I'd like to touch on is episode 10, A Powerful Mage. The entire final sequence of this episode, with Frieren squaring off with Aura, is probably one of the most intense and suspenseful scenes I've ever seen. And it doesn't do it with flashy battles either. No. It takes every part and turns it up to 11 like a damned amplifier. The music is like fighting a Dark Souls boss with low health and no Estus flasks left. Instead of fighting physically, Frieren uses words and magic to outsmart Aura. And just when we thought it couldn't get any more badass, Frieren once again defies the expectations. The music crescendos, the scenes reach a climax, and we see for the first time the true power of Frieren. Masking her aura in such a way that she outsmarted one of the great 7 sages of destruction. Instead of fighting, she simply tells Aura to kill herself. And walks away in what probably is the most badass scene in anime I've ever seen in my entire life, making the usual walking away from an explosion scene look like child's play. I feel like this specific episode was a monumental moment in what helped set Frieren apart from other shows. Beyond the visual brilliance of Frieren, also the pacing of the show is what sets it apart from others. In a genre where many series rush through plot points or drag out unnecessarily, this anime finds a perfect balance. It allows viewers to deeply connect with the character's journey, understanding their growth, sorrows, and joys. The pacing is deliberate, reflecting the theme of time's passage and how it affects each other's differently. A very special aspect of Frieren that I think is different from other shows is the recurring memories of Frieren's past. Typically, animes will have a sort of flashback sequence, but Frieren does it differently. It takes on the role of nostalgic memory as opposed to a simple flashback. It makes you truly appreciate each character from her past and lets us build an important connection with them, which is crucially important to the story of Frieren. It's very important that they did this because it helps us understand not only Frieren, but other characters and what the party of heroes meant to not only Frieren, but the rest of the world. It helps us understand Frieren as a person more and how much her past reflects in the present with her new party. Another thing that makes Frieren truly great are the fine details woven into its narrative fabric. From the nuanced portrayal of Frieren's century-long perspective on life and friendship to the subtle yet powerful exploration of themes like morality and the legacy we leave behind. Frieren Beyond Journey's End invites its audience to reflect on their own lives and relationships. I found this theme to be extremely powerful coming from an anime, reflecting on life and the legacy you leave behind. It's a very heavy theme that I don't think a lot of people think about, their own morality and what it means to leave a legacy behind when you're gone. Moreover, the show's soundtrack deserves a special mention. It perfectly captures the essence of the story, with compositions that range from stirring to somber, enhancing the emotional landscape of the series. The music acts as an invisible thread that ties together the narrative, characters, and animation, creating a harmonious and unforgettable viewing experience. It's really easy to ignore a series soundtrack. When you're watching the show, you get caught up in the animation, you get caught up in the dialogue, and having to read subtitles if you watch subbed. And comprehending all that at once can be a big task, and focusing on the background music is almost like a last resort, or a thing you kind of put on the back burner in the back of your head. But after going back to a number of episodes, I have a whole new appreciation of the soundtrack. It really does help bind the scenes together to create one giant motif. And as someone who has a long history of creating music, I really appreciated the effort that went into the soundtrack for this show. Not only with the music composition, but the way the composition worked with the animation and what was going on with the show. It really did help bring to life and tie everything together during the most epic scenes or even during the most mundane things like walking to a new destination. It's just another thing that I think Frieren did wonderfully and they couldn't have done any better. Frieren Beyond Journey's End is a masterpiece that stands out for its exceptional animation, thoughtful pacing, and the depth of its storytelling. It's a series that doesn't just entertain, but also makes you stop and reflect on not just the characters' lives, but your very own. For me personally, Frieren has left a very deep impact. My favorite show being Clannad and Clannad After Story is another one that brought these nuances not only with music, not only with character development, not only with animation, but the story as a whole that wound itself together to give you this work of art and this masterpiece that I think a lot of people connected with. And me personally, on a very personal level, connected with Tomoya. I just felt a very personal connection to Tomoya, and I think Frieren does that for a lot of people as well. Like I'd mentioned earlier, a topic that people don't really think about is what is after them? What is the legacy that they leave behind? And I think Frieren brings that to the front of the table and makes people kind of think about that. And I think that's one of the things that makes this show so amazing and what has captured the audience in this series. What is the legacy that you want to leave behind? How do you want to be remembered? In the very final episode, we see Frieren and her party leaving the city of Alshurst, and they run along two of the characters that they met during the trials. And we also get a flashback while they're meeting them of Himmel and the hero's party also seeing other characters that they met throughout their travels. And one of the things that's brought up to Himmel is the fact that he gives a short goodbye. And Himmel's reply to this as to why he gives a short goodbye is the fact that it'd be awkward when you see them again. I think that's a very powerful line and a very powerful meaning behind it, because it goes to show that sometimes when you meet other people in your travels or your adventures, it might not be the last time that you actually do see them, and it might be the last time. But if you keep going forward, you keep adventuring, and you keep going outside the boundaries of your comfort zone, you could meet them again, and you don't want it to be awkward. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had a blast putting the script together and making this video. Frieren has been an absolute peach to watch. Seeing its impact on the community has been amazing. I think it deserves every single praise that it gets, and I'm very excited to see where it goes in the future. So thank you guys very much for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below on what you thought of Frieren, and if it touched you in a certain way, I'd like to know how. I'd like to know what the show did for you on a personal level. And make sure to hit that bell button because we're going to be uploading a lot more coming here in the future. So thank you guys. This has been Skish. And before I do close out the video, I just want you to think. Think about Frieren. Think about the hero party and Himmel and how you want to be remembered.